So it's 2026, and the world isn't just changing. It feels like it's being completely rewired. You know those years of simmering geopolitical tensions? Well, they finally boiled over, creating this incredibly volatile new landscape for global business. What we're seeing is a massive shift in the world order. And honestly, understanding it isn't optional anymore. It's absolutely essential just to survive. Right, and to help you get a handle on all this, we've broken it down into 5 key areas. We're going to start with the big picture, this feeling that the world is on edge. Then we'll zoom right into the Taiwan tech paradox, which is a huge flashpoint. From there, we'll look at America's bold new playbook, see how it's totally upending supply chains, and finally, we'll talk about what all of this really means for different industries. Okay, first up, the world is on edge. You know, that stable post-war order that many of us kind of took for granted for a generation, it's crumbling. We've got this fierce competition between superpowers, ongoing conflicts, and these wildly different ideas for the future, and it's all creating a much more dangerous and unpredictable world. And this isn't just some abstract political headline. This is a number that is literally keeping CEOs and supply chain leaders up at night. 41%. So what does that 41% really tell us? Well, it means geopolitical risk is no longer some distant problem for politicians to deal with. It has become the number one day in, day out operational challenge for businesses that are just trying to move goods around the globe. And if you look at this timeline, it really shows you just how fast this all happened. It's like a domino effect, right? You have China projecting its own vision for the world, then this fragile little trade truce, which is immediately followed by these massive military drills around Taiwan, and it all culminates in that stunning U.S. military operation in Venezuela. Each event just built on the last, ratcheting up the tension to where we are right now. Yeah, and those drills Olivia just walked us through, they bring us right to our next major flashpoint, Taiwan. It is such a fascinating and dangerous paradox. You have an economy that's having this historic AI-fueled boom, but it's happening right at the epicenter of the world's most intense geopolitical standoff. Let's just put some numbers on that dominance because they are wild. Taiwan manufactures roughly 90% of all AI servers and a staggering 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductor chips. I mean, just think about that. Nearly every single major technological leap today, from generative AI to supercomputing, relies on this one island. The entire global tech revolution literally runs through Taiwan. And that total dominance is fueling a mind-blowing export surge, all driven by this insatiable demand from the US for AI hardware. Shipments to the States jumped over 144% in October 2025 alone. I mean, this isn't just growth. It's a full-blown gold rush with huge geopolitical implications. So to try and secure this absolutely critical supply line, we're seeing these huge flows of capital. Taiwan's top chipmaker, TSMC, has now pledged a total of $165 billion for new manufacturing plants in the United States. And this isn't just a business decision, right? This is a strategic chess move to build a more resilient and secure supply of the world's most important tech, but on American soil. And that investment, that massive number, it really just highlights the brutal reality of the situation. It's captured perfectly in this quote from former U.S. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien. The U.S. sees control over Taiwan's chip industry as a completely non-negotiable national security issue. The stakes honestly could not be higher. Exactly. So with stakes that high in Taiwan, how is the U.S. responding on the world stage? Well, the Trump administration's answer to this messy, multipolar world has been a much more aggressive and interventionist foreign policy. It's a whole new playbook that has sent very clear signals to both rivals and allies. And you really don't have to read between the lines on this one. In the hours right after the Venezuela operation, President Trump laid the mission out very clearly. We are reasserting American power. This isn't about soft power or diplomacy, it's about projecting hard power, directly and decisively. So this new playbook, it's really built on 4 key pillars of what they call maximum pressure. It starts with aggressive, broad-based tariffs. Then you combine those with really robust financial sanctions. And these economic weapons are backed by the very credible threat of military force, like we just saw in Venezuela. And finally, it's about explicitly reasserting American dominance in its own backyard, basically denying influence to outside powers like China and Russia. Okay, so you have this aggressive foreign policy, you have all this global instability. What does that actually mean for business? Well, the most immediate result is that global supply chains are under fire. It's forcing a complete, total rethink of how companies source, make, and move their products around the world. And this right here really shows you the fundamental shift in thinking. The old model was all about maximum efficiency, minimum cost, relying on just-in-time delivery, and these huge global networks. The new model? It's all about resilience. Now, companies are building just-in-case inventory buffers and regionalizing their networks. Sure, it adds cost, but in today's world, the price of not being able to deliver at all is way, way higher. So how are companies even supposed to manage all this new complexity? Well, they're turning to new tech. A great example is something called agentic AI. You should think of it less like a calculator that just gives you an answer, and more like an automated assistant that can actually do things, like evaluating new suppliers, monitoring risks in real time, even reviewing contracts. It's about automating these critical planning decisions to stay ahead of the chaos. And make no mistake, this isn't some future plan. This adaptation is happening right now, and it's happening fast. This checklist gives you a sense of the practical, urgent steps that supply chain leaders are taking. Immediately, they're trying to secure flexible capacity. Then, it's updating compliance for these new regional networks, getting better real-time visibility, and then starting to pilot these new AI tools to get ahead of the curve. All right, so for our final section, let's zoom in and see how this new reality is actually playing out on the ground. Because while everyone is feeling the pressure, the specific challenges and, the winning strategies are different for every single industry. Yeah, this table is a perfect snapshot of that. So for retailers, it's all about managing that unpredictable online demand, using micro-fulfillment centers close to customers to make sure things get there fast. For healthcare, it's about having safety stock near hospitals to guarantee that critical supplies are always on hand. For manufacturing, nearshoring is the name of the game, just trying to shorten lead times and cut down that geopolitical risk. And for the huge boom in AI data center construction, it's all about precise scheduling and visibility to keep those massive projects on track. When you look at all of this, it really just boils down to one fundamental change in how success is measured. For years, the obsession was cost to serve. How cheaply can we get it there? Today, in a world of constant disruption, the only question that really matters is ability to serve. Can you deliver it all? Which leaves us with one final and, I think, pretty provocative question. We usually think of resilience as a defensive move, right? A cost of doing business. But in this new era, is building a resilient, reliable operation actually the most powerful engine for growth? That's what we'll leave you with. Thanks for watching.